According to the National Survey on Drug Use and Health, in 2017, almost 20 million adults from the ages of 12 and older dealt with substance abuse disorders. 1 out of every 8 adults in the US suffered from both drug and alcohol abuse disorders simultaneously. Those addictions cost more than $740 billion and lost workplace productivity, healthcare expenses, and crime-related costs. For those punished by the law system, over 75% of drug abusers were, without any rehab, were rearrested within a 12-month period of time. This is a huge problem. The legal and jail system are doing more damage to substance addicts than they are helping them. As stated by the Foundation's Recovery Network, over 50% of the population in federal prisons are there from drug convictions. They also state that over 80% of the populations in all prisons abuse drug and alcohol, with half of those being clinically addicted to the substances. Lawmakers decided that to try and deter drug crime, they would make the punishments for any drug-related convictions, very serious, so that people wouldn't do them. But they were wrong about that, and it didn't help. So now, over half of federal prisons are filled with people with giant sentences who aren't getting the help they actually need, and just end up getting caught in a cycle of addiction and jail time. This is something we should care about, as people whose system is flawed, causing over 44,000 drug overdoses every year in the US alone. As people who have the science and knowledge to help, but don't. And as taxpayers who pay $47 billion every year to house addicts in prison, who are just going to end up there again. This is clearly a problem, but it's not hopeless. It's a very solvable problem. According to the Justice Research and Statistics Association, 57% of people receiving drug rehab were rearrested within a 12-month period, compared to 75% of those who didn't receive drug rehab. There are quite a few more statistics pointing out the fact that rehabilitation is a much more effective method of cutting down on drug use and convictions than prison sentences. It's important that people have a better understanding of addiction, as there's a lot of stigma surrounding it. Addicts are often looked down upon by society, but they're people in need of help and support. After spreading this knowledge, the flawed legal system needs to be changed. Laws and punishments for drug convictions need to be changed so that more good can come out of the punishments. This is really the only option, the only solution there is. Without the legal system changing, the cycle will just continue to happen. Think about this. If you or someone you love became a substance abuser, what world would you want to live in? The one it is now? Where if you're convicted, you go to prison for a vast number of years without getting any help? To continue to have the same or worse addiction? To continually be rearrested without the rehabilitation you need as life passes you by in prison? No, you want to live in the possible society I'm proposing, where all these millions of people, possibly including you, get the help they need to get their lives back on track. A world where you're not looked down upon for struggling with an incredible feat to beat addiction. A world where the system cares about you. Well, there's something you can do to help achieve this. You can be a part of making this big change to improve society. All I ask of you is to talk to your family and friends about what I've told you today. It's important to spread awareness about these problems. I also ask you to engage in actively trying to get these to change. Go to change.org and sign a petition asking to help change these laws. And then when those laws do come around, I ask you to vote in favor of them. Be a part of something bigger than yourself that will help save millions.